Do you think you know edible plants? Think again. What if I told you there's a plant that bleeds red like beetroot but tastes like spinach? Or a fruit that makes sour foods taste sweet? We're about to reveal 20 wild edible plants so extraordinary that they'll challenge your perception of what's possible in the natural world. Get ready to be completely fascinated. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Now let's get started. Number 1. Ostrich fern fiddleheads. They look like alien tentacles. Forget everything you thought you knew about foraging. Today we're diving into what's truly bizarre. Imagine walking through the forest and stumbling upon something that looks like it came straight out of a sci-fi movie. Tiny curled green structures, shiny and coiled, resembling alien tentacles sprouting from the ground. These curious shoots are known as fiddleheads, the young stage of the ostrich fern, Matutia struthiopteris. And for centuries, they've fascinated people not only for their looks, but also for their flavor. The name fiddlehead isn't a coincidence. It comes from their resemblance to the scroll at the top of a violin. Just like the instrument, these shoots curl into perfect, almost geometric spirals, creating a natural spectacle that looks hand-drawn. But what's truly surprising is that despite their exotic appearance, fiddleheads are edible and highly valued in several cultures. In Canada and the northeastern United States, they're considered a seasonal delicacy, appearing at local markets only for a few weeks in spring. In Japan, they're known as warabai and feature in traditional dishes. For Native American tribes, these shoots were a vital food source after the long winter, when other crops were still scarce. And the taste, an intriguing mix of asparagus, spinach, and a slight hint of nuttiness. But be careful, they cannot be eaten raw. They must be cooked, usually boiled or sautéed, to remove natural toxins present in many ferns. Cooking ensures not only food safety, but also enhances their tender texture and delicate flavor. Nutritionally, fiddleheads are surprising. Rich in antioxidants, iron, potassium, and vitamin C, they've been described as a true hidden superfood of the forest. They even contain omega-3 fatty acids, something rare in vegetables, boosting their nutritional value even further. But they don't just win over the dining table. Fiddleheads also carry cultural symbolism. In some traditions, they represent renewal and new beginnings, since they emerge in early spring when life returns after months of cold and darkness. Interestingly, not all ferns are safe to eat. Many species are toxic, even carcinogenic, making proper identification essential. That's why only experts or experienced foragers usually collect them in the wild. In the end, ostrich fern fiddleheads are the perfect blend of strangeness, beauty, and flavor. A plant that looks like it came from another planet, yet carries centuries of tradition, nutrition, and curiosity. A true reminder that in nature, what seems alien can, in fact, be a hidden earthly treasure. Number 2. Mayapple. Ripe fruit edible, but also poisonous. The mayapple, Podophyllum peltatum, also known as mayapple, is a plant native to North America that intrigues both botanists and nature enthusiasts. With its large umbrella-shaped leaves and peculiar growth cycle, it stands out in shady forests, forming lush green carpets in spring. But what draws even more attention is its fruit, a small yellow apple that can be both food and poison, a perfect example of how nature demands respect, knowledge, and caution. Right from the start, it's essential to stress this. Correct identification of mayapple is crucial. Many are captivated by the fruit's appearance, but only the ripe fruit, harvested at the right time and eaten in small amounts, is safe for humans. Every other part of the plant, leaves, roots, seeds, and even the unripe fruit is highly toxic and can cause serious health issues, including severe nausea, diarrhea, and even poisoning. This detail makes mayapple a symbol of responsible harvesting, where haste or inattention can turn curiosity into danger. Interestingly, the name Mayapple comes from the fact that the plant flowers and begins fruiting in May, though the fruit is only truly ripe and edible in summer, usually in July or August. Its look resembles a small yellow plum with a sweet tart taste compared by some to passion fruit or lemon. Indigenous peoples of North America knew the plant long before European colonization and carefully used its fruit while also employing root extracts for medicinal purposes, always aware of the risks of misuse. Another fascinating detail is that Mayapple isn't just an interesting wild plant, but also an important resource for modern science. Its root contains podophyllitoxin, a toxic compound that, in controlled doses, is used to develop medicines against warts and even some cancer treatments. This paradox, poison and cure coexisting in the same plant, reinforces how nature can be both generous and unforgiving. Ecologically, Mayapple also plays an important role. Its ripe fruits attract animals such as turtles, which help disperse the seeds and ensure the species species' survival. This natural balance shows that the plant exists not only for human use, but as part of a larger web of interactions within the forest. With all these particularities, the greatest lesson Mayapple offers is the importance of respecting traditional and scientific knowledge. It's not enough to simply find a plant and taste it. You must know how to identify it, recognize the signs of ripeness, and harvest responsibly without harming the surrounding ecosystem. In a world where contact with nature is often superficial, Mayapple is a living reminder that curiosity must walk hand in hand with responsibility. Thus, the small yellow fruit of the forest is more than just a curious snack. It's an invitation to reflect on prudence, respect, and the hidden power nature holds in every detail. Number 3. Jack in the pulpit requires extensive processing. The jack in the pulpit, Erythema triphyllum, is a plant native to the moist forests of North America that stands out both for its unique appearance and for its cultural history. Its common name refers to the peculiar shape of its flower, a pulpit-like structure from which rises an upright stalk. Jack, resembling a preacher standing at his altar. This striking image has led to the plant being admired and surrounded by symbolism across different peoples over time. But before diving into curiosities, one point must be emphasized: proper identification and responsible harvesting of jack in the pulpit are essential. The plant contains calcium oxalate crystals in all its parts, especially in the underground corm. If eaten raw, it can cause severe burning sensations in the mouth, throat swelling, and even difficulty breathing. For this reason, it should never be consumed without proper preparation. Many accidents occur when people mistake it for other edible wild species, highlighting the importance of learning to recognize botanical details such as its 3-part leaves, the coloration of the spadix, and its fruiting cycle, during which the plant produces clusters of bright red berries. Despite the risk, Native American tribes developed techniques to safely use the plant. The corm, a bulb-like root, was harvested, dried for long periods, and then cooked, a process that neutralized the toxic crystals. In this way, it could be used as a food source in times of scarcity. Ethnobotanical records also reveal that jack in the pulpit was used in traditional medicine to treat respiratory issues, sore throats, and even as poultices for external inflammations. This relationship shows how traditional knowledge and respect for the environment always went hand in hand. Another fascinating detail is the plant's pollination strategy. Jack in the pulpit switches sexes throughout its life. Younger plants tend to produce male flowers, while older and better nourished ones can produce female flowers. This mechanism increases the chances of reproduction and ensures genetic diversity. Additionally, the inside of the pulpit emits a faint odor that attracts small pollinators such as gnats and flies. In autumn, when the fruits ripen, they turn into clusters of bright red berries. Although toxic to humans, these fruits play an important ecological role by feeding birds that disperse the seeds. This cycle connects the plant to the broader web of forest life, reminding us that every species has its place and importance. Finally, it's worth noting that over-harvesting threatens the survival of this plant in many regions. Cultivating it in shaded gardens is a more ethical and sustainable alternative for those who wish to appreciate its beauty without affecting wild populations. In the end, jack in the pulpit is more than a botanical curiosity. It's a living example of how respect, knowledge, and responsibility should guide all human interactions with nature. Studying it teaches us that true wisdom lies not only in exploiting resources, but also in protecting and valuing the delicate web of life that sustains us. Number 4. Prickly pear, pads, and cactus fruits. Now, let's explore some plants that look like they belong in a science fiction movie rather than on your dinner plate. The prickly pear, also known as nopal or Indian fig, is a true icon of deserts and arid regions around the world, belonging to the cactus family. Although its sharp spines may seem intimidating, this plant holds surprising secrets that make it much more than just an edible fruit. Historically, the prickly pear played a central role in the cultures of indigenous peoples of Mexico and the southwestern United States. The pads, called nopales, were and still are eaten as a nutritious food rich in fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins. Beyond their nutritional value, nopales were used medicinally to treat wounds, reduce inflammation, and even regulate blood sugar levels. Ancient peoples also believed the plant had spiritual properties, incorporating it into purification rituals and sacred ceremonies. The fruit, sweet and juicy, was considered a delicacy in pre-Columbian times, often dried or fermented into beverages. Today, it's still used to make jams, juices, and even exotic ice creams, keeping ancestral culinary traditions alive. Interestingly, the plant's spines weren't just physical defenses. They could also be sharpened and used as needles or small weapons when needed. Beyond its historical significance, the prickly pear plays an essential ecological role. Its flowers attract pollinators like bees and hummingbirds, while its fruits provide food for wildlife during droughts. Thus, the cactus is not only a source of food and medicine, but also a pillar of biodiversity in arid landscapes. The fascination with the prickly pear goes beyond practical use. Its almost alien geometric form and its ability to thrive under extreme conditions make it a symbol of resilience and adaptation. Each fleshy pad and succulent fruit carries centuries of history, culture, and ecological wisdom, reminding us that even the spiniest plants can hide extraordinary treasures. Number 5. Daylily hemeracalis, edible flowers and tubers. The daylily, better known by its scientific name hemeracalis, is a plant that combines ornamental beauty with practical utility, offering much more than just showy blooms. One of its most fascinating features is that each flower lasts for only a single day, which inspired its name. Despite its short-lived blossoms, its flowers and tubers have been used for centuries, particularly in Asian cuisine and traditional medicine. In ancient China, daylilies were highly valued not only as food, but also as symbols of prosperity and good fortune. The dried flowers, known as golden needles, were used in soups, stir-fries, and rice dishes, adding a delicate texture and mildly sweet flavor. Beyond the kitchen, the plant's tubers were eaten as a starchy root similar to potatoes or yams, providing a source of carbohydrates during times of scarcity. Historically, daylilies also held medicinal value. Records from traditional Chinese medicine describe the flowers as calming agents, used to ease insomnia, fatigue, and minor inflammations. This versatility meant the plant was cultivated not only in ornamental gardens, but also in household gardens for everyday use. In Japanese cuisine, the flower is called nikokisuje and was traditionally featured in festive dishes and ceremonies, turning each meal into an aesthetic and symbolic experience. In parts of East Asia, the flowers were preserved in salt or sun-dried, allowing them to be enjoyed outside their blooming season. This practice of preservation reflects ancestral knowledge of using natural resources sustainably. Another fascinating botanical detail is that although each bloom lasts only a day, the plant continues producing new flowers for weeks during the season, ensuring a steady supply of edible blossoms. This fleeting beauty made the daylily a recurring symbol of renewal and impermanence in poetry and art across Asia. In the West, while daylilies are more commonly appreciated as ornamentals, their recognition as edible plants has been growing, especially in gourmet cuisine seeking exotic ingredients with cultural heritage. Modern chefs experiment with both fresh flowers and tubers, creating dishes that blend aesthetics, flavor, and history, connecting diners with centuries of tradition. In short, the daylily is far more than just a decorative lily. It is a cultural, culinary, and medicinal legacy spanning generations and continents. Each petal and each tuber carries a story of human ingenuity and appreciation of nature, proving that even the most ephemeral flowers can leave lasting marks on culture and cuisine. Number 7. Papaya, native fruit with tropical flavor. Not all wild foods are about survival, some are surprisingly delicious. A perfect example is papaya, a fruit native to the tropical regions of the Americas, especially Mexico and Central America, but which spread worldwide thanks to its sweet, refreshing taste. Papaya is much more than a tasty treat, it's a true natural powerhouse of nutrients. Rich in vitamin C, vitamin A, potassium, and fiber, this fruit strengthens the immune system, aids digestion, and contributes to healthy skin and vision. Interestingly, papaya contains an enzyme called papain, famous for its digestive properties. In the past, it was used to tenderize meat and even in certain traditional medicines. But contrary to what some may think, you don't need complicated processes to enjoy this fruit to the fullest. Papaya is incredibly versatile and can be eaten in simple, safe ways, making it an easy addition to anyone's diet. For those looking for easy preparation methods, the simplest is to cut the fruit in half, scoop out the seeds, and eat it straight with a spoon. This way, all the nutrients remain intact and it's perfect for a quick snack. Another option is to cube it and add it to fruit salads or smoothies. Blending papaya with plain yogurt and a bit of honey, for example, makes a refreshing and nutritious breakfast. The fruit can also be mashed into purees ideal for children or for use in desserts like mousses and homemade ice creams. The seeds, though less commonly eaten, can also be used. They have antibacterial properties and can be dried, ground, and used as as a seasoning, adding a slightly peppery flavor to salads and light dishes. However, they should be consumed in moderation, since excessive amounts may cause digestive discomfort. Papayas also come in different varieties. The Hawaiian papaya, Carica papaya, small and sweet with bright orange flesh, contrasts with the larger Formosa papaya, which is firmer and less sweet. Each variety has its own flavor profile, making it possible to explore different culinary preparations and pairings. For freshness and safety, it's best to choose firm fruits without dark spots or soft patches, and to eat them soon after cutting. In summary, papaya is the perfect example of how wild foods can be both delicious and practical. With simple methods like slicing, mashing, blending, or adding to recipes, anyone can enjoy this tropical fruit without complications, gaining flavor, health, and convenience all at once. Each bite offers not only natural sweetness, but also a connection to ancient cultures that have long recognized the papaya's nutritious and versatile value. Number 8. Elderberry, sweet fruits for jams and syrups. Not all wild foods are about survival, some are surprisingly delicious. A perfect example is elderberry, a plant known for its small, dark, sweet fruits ideal for jams, syrups, and even homemade wines. Despite its modest appearance, elderberry has been used for centuries in both cooking and traditional medicine, especially in Europe and North America. Its fragrant white blossoms appear in spring, while the ripe berries arrive in late summer, offering an abundant harvest to those who know how to identify them correctly. An interesting detail is that while ripe berries are sweet and safe to eat, unripe fruits and seeds can be slightly toxic if consumed raw. This makes proper preparation essential. Fortunately, simple cooking methods ensure elderberry is completely safe. Boiling the berries, for example, neutralizes any unwanted compounds while releasing their naturally sweet flavor. A classic recipe is elderberry jam. Simply cook the berries with sugar and a little water until a thick consistency forms. The result is an aromatic spread perfect for toast, cakes, or even as a complement to roasted meats. Elderberries also make delicious syrups, very popular in hot drinks or refreshing beverages. To prepare them, the berries are usually boiled with sugar and water, then strained and bottled. The flavor resembles a mix of grape and cherry with light floral notes, making it a versatile ingredient in the kitchen. In addition, many people add elderberries to teas or smoothies, enjoying both their delicate aroma and antioxidant properties. Historically, elderflowers were also used in cooking. They can be turned into light fritters or infused into teas, adding a touch of natural sweetness to drinks. For culinary adventurers, elderberry offers a chance to explore new flavors without complication, since the preparation requires no advanced techniques or special equipment, just attention to fruit ripeness and a little creativity. Beyond taste, elderberry also provides noteworthy nutritional benefits. Rich in vitamin C, flavonoids, and antioxidants, it helps boost the immune system and protect cells from damage. This explains why, for centuries, rural communities relied on it as a natural remedy for colds and flu, while also enjoying its irresistible flavor in homemade recipes. In summary, elderberry is a charming example of how nature combines taste and practicality. With simple cooking techniques, its small wild fruits can be turned into jams, syrups, and sweets that deliver both unique flavor and health benefits. For those who enjoy experimenting with natural foods, elderberry proves that not every wild plant is about survival. Some are pure pleasure at the table. Number 9. Wild grape. Sour leaves, sweet fruit. The wild grape is a plant that stands out not only for its flavor, but also for the stories and secrets it carries. Unlike the table grapes we know today, wild grapes are remarkable for their curious contrast. Sour, almost tangy leaves and sweet, delicate fruits, a natural balance at its finest. A lesser known fact is that wild grapes were used by ancient peoples as a kind of natural seasoning. Because of their acidity, the leaves helped enhance the taste of broths and meats, much like lemon does today. Meanwhile, the fruits were often fermented into rustic beverages, similar to wild wines that peasants once made in small quantities. Another fascinating trait is the plant's resilience. Unlike cultivated grapes grown on trellises, wild grapes can grow almost anywhere from fences to dense forests. This made them a kind of travel companion for rural communities, who knew they could count on them for food and flavor even far from markets. From a nutritional perspective, both the leaves and fruits are rich in natural antioxidants, especially flavonoids flavonoids and polyphenols. This is why wild grapes earned the nickname plant of vitality in certain folk traditions. Even without modern science, people noticed that eating them made the body more resilient. Simple and safe preparation methods: leaf tea. The sour leaves can be used in infusions. Just boil water, add washed leaves, and let steep for 5 minutes. The result is a refreshing, digestive tea with a slight citrus note. Cooked leaves as wraps. In many cultures, grapevine leaves are used to wrap rice or vegetables. With wild grape leaves, the process is similar. Blanch them briefly to soften the acidity, then stuff and roll. Fresh fruit, though small, the berries can be eaten raw as a quick wild snack. Fun fact, freezing them intensifies their sweetness, turning them into a natural frozen treat. Homemade jam. By cooking the grapes with sugar, you get a rustic, flavorful jam. This not only preserves the fruit, but also eliminates any risk of contamination. Light fermented drink. With some sugar and patience, it's possible to create a natural fermentation, producing a sparkling, refreshing beverage, a kind of forest wine still made by some rural communities. In the end, wild grapes show how nature can combine practicality, health, and flavor in one plant. While their sour leaves work like a wild lemon for seasoning, their sweet fruits provide instant energy and delight. More than just food, they are a living piece of history and tradition, a hidden treasure that still survives today on forest edges and forgotten backyards. Number 10. Sorrel, lemon-flavored sour leaves. As we venture deeper, we discover culinary gems hiding in plain sight. Sorrel, also known as Rumex acetosa, is one of these small wonders that often go unnoticed, yet it carries an unmistakable flavor and remarkable nutritional richness. Its green leaves, with a sour taste reminiscent of lemon, bring a unique freshness capable of turning even the simplest dishes into memorable gastronomic experiences. The secret behind sorrel's taste lies in its high oxalic acid content, which gives it its characteristic tang. This natural citrusy note makes it an interesting substitute for lemon in some recipes, or a way to balance out heavier dishes. From a nutritional perspective, sorrel is rich in vitamins A and C, essential for vision, skin health, and a strong immune system. It also provides iron, magnesium, and potassium minerals that support the body's energy, fight fatigue, and contribute to cardiovascular health. Interestingly, despite being known for centuries, sorrel remains something of a forgotten herb in modern cuisine, even though it was highly valued in the past. Ancient peoples used it as a seasoning and even as a natural remedy to reduce fevers and aid digestion. Its medicinal use was so widespread that in some cultures it was considered a plant that purified the blood. In today's kitchens, sorrel finds its place mainly in light, creative dishes. Its leaves can be eaten raw in salads, delivering an explosion of freshness, or cooked in soups and sauces, where they release a delicate, sophisticated flavor. Contemporary chefs have been reviving sorrel as a featured ingredient in risottos, omelets, and even refreshing drinks, replacing lemon in cocktails and infusions. It's worth noting that because sorrel contains oxalic acid, people with kidney issues should consume it in moderation. Still, when enjoyed in balance, sorrel is a true culinary gem uniting flavor, tradition, and nutrition in a single ingredient. Thus, when we look more closely at the natural world around us, we realize that simple leaves like sorrel can carry surprising secrets. Small, delicate, and often overlooked, it proves that even in the most discreet details, cooking can uncover endless sources of flavor and health. Number 11. Garlic mustard, invasive green leaves, but versatile. Garlic mustard, Alearia petiolata, is a plant often overlooked since it is considered invasive in many ecosystems. Yet behind this reputation lies significant culinary and nutritional potential. Native to Europe and Asia, it spread rapidly across North America and other parts of the world, where it is often seen as a threat to native vegetation. However, for curious cooks, this leafy green transforms into a hidden treasure. Its name, garlic mustard, reveals its peculiarity. The leaves release an aroma that blends fresh garlic with a mild mustard-like sharpness. This combination makes it highly versatile, suitable for both raw and cooked dishes. When young, the leaves are milder, perfect for salads, pestos, and sandwiches. As they mature, their flavor becomes stronger, making them excellent for sautés, soups, or as a natural seasoning in pastas and risottos. Interestingly, its seeds can also be used, resembling the flavor of traditional mustard and creating a unique alternative spice. Nutritionally, garlic mustard is impressive impressive. Rich in vitamins A and C, it supports immunity, vision, and skin health. It also contains calcium, iron, and magnesium essential for strong bones, energy production, and muscle balance. Another noteworthy point is its antioxidant and phytochemical compounds, which help reduce inflammation and protect the body from free radicals. In other words, it's a plant that goes far beyond flavor, offering real health benefits. In modern kitchens, chefs and advocates of sustainable cuisine have been rediscovering garlic mustard as a way to combine taste, nutrition, and environmental awareness. Using it is also a natural control strategy, since harvesting and eating the plant helps reduce its invasive spread. Imagine a vibrant green pesto made with garlic mustard instead of basil, or a creamy pasta sauce with subtle garlicky notes, no fresh cloves needed. Even in vegan burgers and savory pie fillings, it fits beautifully, adding unexpected layers of flavor. So what many see only as an invasive weed can actually be a hidden gem. Garlic mustard reminds us that in nature, even what seems undesirable can be transformed into something special. It just takes a new perspective, a willingness to experiment, and a bit of culinary creativity. Number 12. Violet, edible flowers and leaves. The violet, besides being one of the most delicate and charming flowers in nature, holds a series of curiosities that make it special not only in the garden, but also in the kitchen. Both its flowers and leaves are edible, something that surprises many people who usually associate violets only with ornamentation. Its flavor is lightly sweet and floral, making it an excellent option to add a sophisticated and unusual touch to different dishes and drinks. From a nutritional standpoint, the violet is a small, natural powerhouse. Its flowers are rich in vitamin C, which strengthens the immune system, and they also contain important antioxidants that fight free radicals, the culprits behind premature cellular aging. The leaves, on the other hand, contain minerals such as iron and calcium, as well as fibers that aid digestion. Another curiosity is that violets contain compounds known as mucilages, which have soothing properties for the mucous membranes and are used in natural remedies to relieve coughs and throat irritation. Historically, violets have been used both in folk medicine and in royal cuisine. In ancient Rome, they were infused into aromatic wines, and during the Middle Ages, they often appeared in preserves and elaborate desserts. Today, with the rise of contemporary gastronomy and the search for unique natural ingredients, violets are regaining their place as a creative element in modern kitchens around the world. In culinary practice, there are many ways to incorporate violets into dishes. The flowers can be crystallized with sugar and used to decorate cakes, pies, and fine desserts, adding both elegance and flavor. They can also be added fresh to salads, creating a contrast of vibrant colors and subtle aromas. The leaves can be cooked like greens, somewhat similar to spinach, or used in soups and light sautés. Another interesting application is in mixology. Violet flowers are used to prepare syrups, infusions, and even liqueurs, such as the traditional French crème de violette, famous for giving rise to the aviation cocktail. Beyond aesthetics and flavor, using violets also connects with the trend of valuing sustainable and functional ingredients. After all, this is a flower that can be easily grown at home in small pots or urban gardens, allowing anyone to add a touch of originality to meals in a simple and healthy way. Conclusion: the violet is one of the most fascinating plants when it comes to uniting beauty and taste. Its delicate blossoms, ranging from soft lilac to deep purple, are not just for decorating gardens, they are edible and carry a long history of culinary and medicinal use. In ancient times, Greeks and Romans used violets in infusions, syrups, and even wines, believing in their calming and purifying properties. They were also associated with love and fertility, gaining space both in kitchens and in cultural rituals. But what few people know is that not only the flowers are edible, the leaves of violets can also be eaten. They can be added to salads, sautés, and even soups, offering a mild, slightly sweet taste while being rich in vitamins A and C. The flowers, meanwhile, add charm to desserts and sophisticated dishes, especially when crystallized in sugar, turning them into true culinary jewels. Another curiosity is that violets also have a delicate sweet aroma, often used in syrups and liqueurs. The famous Parfum de Violette, very popular in 19th century France, inspired confectioners to create candies, jams, and even ice creams based on the flower. To this day, in traditional European confectionery, you can still find sweets carrying this floral heritage. Beyond flavor and aesthetics, violets Violets are also known for their medicinal properties. Their flowers and leaves are used in teas to ease cold symptoms, coughs, and even digestive issues. In herbal medicine, they are also mentioned as aids for relaxation and insomnia relief. However, it is important to remember, not every plant resembling a violet is safe for consumption. Correct identification and responsible use are essential to avoid risks. And when we think about unusual foods from nature, violets join other equally surprising examples. Papaya, for instance, goes far beyond the sweet fruit we know. Its seeds have a peppery flavor similar to black pepper and can be used as a spice. Wild grapes, found in various regions, are smaller and more acidic than common grapes, but carry enormous nutritional potential and an adaptive strength that fascinates botanists. From the bizarre to the beautiful, nature's pantry is truly astonishing, and we've only scratched the surface. The violet with its beauty transformed into flavor, the papaya revealing the usefulness of its seeds, and the wild grape showcasing life's resilience in its purest form. These are just a few examples of the unexpected treasures nature offers. So here's the invitation: research, learn more, and perhaps responsibly explore local wild foods. Always keep safety and sustainability in mind, as every discovery can open new doors to a more creative, healthy, and earth-connected future. After all, nature holds secrets still waiting to be revealed. In short, the violet is much more than an ornamental flower. It is a natural jewel that combines beauty, nutritional value, and culinary versatility. Incorporating it into modern dishes is not only a way to innovate in the kitchen, but also a way to revive an ancient tradition that blends health, taste, and sophistication in every petal. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed our content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Also, check out the other interesting videos that are popping up on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next one. See you soon.